Hi guys, I'm back. Quick message before we continue the video. I've decided that it might be a little fun and creative to maybe do some like guide videos or like VOD reviewing some of my games. At no point at all am I like good or like the best at the game in any way, shape, or form. Wouldn't even consider myself like anywhere near a pro. But hopefully you guys might learn something or at least have fun watching this. The support lately has been just crazy. I've been uploading in quite a while and I've been getting like the most like views and likes I have like ever in like the first couple days. I don't even really care about the views, I just care about like the people that watch it are enjoying it, and that's what's happening. So thanks and enjoy. Drop in. No one really had many mats, so he didn't really have enough time to replace it. He was also low enough, so he focused on getting the finish, which you should play around your finish, but don't focus completely on the finish, because that is ultimately what will get you killed 90% of the time when you knock a player's teammate. I think here's a really good point that we need to make, where just about in every game mode, specifically duos, you have to be always willing to trust them and be willing to split whatever you have with them. Like, I could have easily kept those minis and bigs for myself for my personal meds, but I split them to him. He would have been 30 HP, like no shield at all. It's so important. You think that it will give you a personal gain, but in that moment, you won't even use all of those mats or all those meds. So it is so important that you trust your duo and always just give them what you have when you have it, or else something bad can happen. Like, I've been in so many games where my duo is low HP and I have tons of stuff, but he goes down, then it's a 2v1. I never use really any of my mats, meds, or anything. So at this point, where we don't really want to waste any of our mats, we're kind of just taking shots with our long-range guns, not wasting any ammo, just seeing if we can get some tags to make it confident enough to push things. Because you don't want to, unless you're like really confident in what you're doing, you really don't want to just be like running at people without getting any tags. Like, these people are across the map. If we run to them, they're going to have A, natural height, B, they'll have all the meds they need, and ultimately we'll be at this disadvantage. If we stay back, not waste too much ammo or mats, we can get those tags up. This might seem very simple and obvious, but it's incredible how many times people just don't do it. Okay, so here we make the conscious decision to push them. I obviously see the big pot and I harpooned it in. This was a huge mistake because we didn't know where they were, so this is something that we can definitely learn from. You never want to just push when you don't even know where they are. Always look for them, move in very slowly. What I did, where I just ran right into that open, going for that big pot. They saw me going for that big pot, and they just beamed me accordingly. Okay, so as I was being beamed, my duo partner, toothfairy, decides to take height on a building. Now that the enemies saw that, they decided to back off. But then I get engaged in a little build battle with one of the teammates of the first duo that we were originally fighting. Then I tried to throw Firefly down. I'm forced to take like a defensive position down on low. He kind of just runs in my face like a maniac, and he gets put down very easily. I really need the siphon, so I finish him immediately. Because I know his teammate's coming. Always get the siphon as soon as you can, unless you're fine and you have minis. You don't want to like waste that like big pot basically, so you can get the full. I try to piece control him, but for some reason the cone doesn't place over his head when I'm peeking through the wall. He gets the pyramid, but I get a jump shot. Those jump shots are really good. But only if you're sure that it will only get like a teeny part of your head. Like when most people do peanut butter edits, it's always where a tiny part of their head's exposed, and like the maximum damage someone can hit with the shotgun is like 40. That's always what you want to do. If you're just jumping up there, they're getting like a max damage pump shot, and you're on all of their builds. So here I know that my teammate is fighting a bit too well. We're trying to hold tight, even though we, again, don't have any mats. It's still early game. I get one of them fairly easily because he was brought low. But right now I'm just looking for more mats. I see a team on this hill. This is so important that you want to make sure that you're looking for third parties and make sure that they don't think that this will be a free fight. Me tagging them there is probably one of the most important things here. If I didn't tag them, they would have been able to sneak in. None of them would have saw them. They could have taken height. They could have done literally whatever they wanted, and I couldn't touch them at all. So The thing we did was I just hit them a couple times, or at least to show them that like we weren't pushing them down. I finished the guy off that Toothfairy was fighting, and that was just about the end of that fight. So I'm still concerned here that the team is still around here. So I give my teammate some meds, and they give me a mechanical part that I need to be able to get a spaz. Again, it's really important just to keep your teammates alive, trust each other, and be able to split them things when they need them. The teams just left, we saw, so we just found that it was just gonna look like a decently free rotate. The storm wasn't that far away, but definitely not something that we'd want to sit in storm for. So as you can see here, I got the primal parts from the blockade, and I craft myself a primal bow. I am very good with the stink bow. We've been looking, basically, it's so important for just about anything. Everyone knows it, but do they really? Like, the pressure that a stink bow can apply is just so incredibly good. It doesn't have as big a radius as the other things, but it can just apply so much pressure, and with the ability to do 170 damage is really, really good. So we see this team in storm, and we don't want to take AR shots because that will allow them to be like defensive because they know where the shots are coming from. The great part of bows is that it's very hard for like teams to know where they're coming from. So in zone we see this small build fight. So we decided to save mats and base up there. So from that base we were able to look at the people from zone, and they wouldn't be able to like shoot us out. We wouldn't have to waste any mats, and we would be able to get the kills pretty easily. There isn't that much about this. We know that the only guy that survived out of the storm was a solo, and he was just trying to get his teammate's card to go to Slurpee. But it was a horrible decision for him to be downhill, and ultimately I get a nice bow shot on him. He was attempting to go to Slurpee, but that's a really bad idea. When you know that there's a team holding you, being on low ground is the absolutely worst thing you can do. Most of the time it's rather forced onto people for that to happen, but if you have the choice, never ever purposely take low ground in a 1v2. Okay, so I see the team on the hill once we did a full loop around like the swamp area. Again, just really conserving mats is really important. We just kind of exchanged some bow shots. It's not too eventful. Kind of a dull fight. I'll skip to the part where things actually start to happen. Okay, so now we're at the point in the fight where things are actually starting to happen. Start taking some AR shots just to whittle down their mats. We really don't need that many mats right now because we already have a lot from just not wasting them. So right now we're kind of just making sure there aren't any third parties. So you see me breaking that tree. Breaking anything that can obscure your vision, distract you, prevent you from getting tags is so important to just get rid of as soon as possible. You'll see that later on, but I get a nice 85 crack tag from hitting him 33 a little earlier. Here again, I hit him 65 or 85, I don't know. So at this point, we have height, we can push in. I see him going up. I make sure that he's not going up. And again, I know that my teammate Toothfairy knocked one of them. Or not knocked one of them, was fighting the other. So I just jump in, and I was confident in my aim. And it's so important to be confident in your aim, or at least be confident or know your boundaries of, are you gonna miss shots? Are you not gonna be able to hit the net? It's good to know your limits, good to know what you can do and can't do, so you know what decisions to make in those kind of situations. So if I wasn't confident in my aim, I would just spray from the top, maybe get a couple tags, and wait until I could box fight or my teammate could box fight, because I would think that he would be better. But in that situation, it's okay to jump in because he wasn't expecting it when he was being sprayed from the other side. So here we're just basing up, destroying trees again. Really important. You don't want them to obscure your vision or allow people to sneak up on you or use them as cover at all. We have zone. Again, we're just looking for people on like the outskirts to see if they're rotating into zone. I ultimately spot one more fighting a wolf. I missed both my bow shots on him, and he starts to run away. So again, we try to kill the things that are either going to distract us or just cause other things that might happen. Like that wolf could have just done like 25 damage, which would have been just annoying because if someone hits like any kind of headshot with like a bow that's not mechanical or a purple pump, that would just be a tag, like a one shot, and it's just really not worth having to take those. You can just waste a couple bullets, which we at this point we have a lot of, just to take out that wolf. We see him at the bottom, and again, the power of the stink bow is just so good, where we can keep him in one spot and control his movements, basically. Make a really dumb decision, take some fall damage. I start hitting him for whites. Again, this is forcing him into this box. Eventually he branches out, but takes some damage. I kind of just spray at him, see what I can do. But ultimately, my teammate gets him. And we're pretty much set up for this end game. We're on edge zone. We basically have the circle, and we start walking towards the main buildings of Weeping. Okay, so I see the bow shots. It's always good to keep your bow shots like reflectified, because it's really easy with, especially with like a stink bow, to just we'll use a lot of them. As I can see, I know that the other teams have them, so I start jumping around and staying on the back of my ramp there. I take a couple shots. They're unfortunately misses. But I can still apply pressure on that box. So I see we don't have zone, and and I know that we need to connect to something, because we can't just be like one building out. I see this guy hit him 52 white. This is super important. I could have easily gone for that kill. It would have gotten me the points, but that would have put us in terrible positioning. Positioning is probably the most important thing in this game. It doesn't matter what loadout you have, how many mats you have, but the position that you're in will decide everything. Later in the game, I eventually eliminate him, but going for that there would have been really, really bad. So the zone starts pulling even further. My teammate starts to drop a little. This is kind of the end game. We're playing this fairly safe, like you would like a very stacked lobby, where I'm playing ultimate height. We're both spraying at the same spot to keep people from pushing us. Ultimate height and secondary height is really important, because one of them can have all the benefits of height without wasting that many mats. The other one can, in case he needs to like protect the guy on height, just so he can still spray. Unfortunately, I slipped off the ramp. I don't know what happened there. My teammate drops, which wasn't the best idea this early. Unfortunately, he gets coned off and dies. But I drop down, I knock one of them. Then the last guy, I just give him a nice pump shot. Thank you guys all so much for watching the video and still even watching, even though I don't have the most consistent upload schedule. I had a lot of fun making this, even though it took quite a while. Huge shout out to my duo partner, Toothfairy. He was a really big help, and I think we're a really good duo. Coming up, I think I'm going to post like maybe another Wire Pixel episode and maybe a montage or two if you guys would like that. My entire reason that I've made this YouTube channel was just to have some fun, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you.